But if you close your eyes,
what is up, guys? I am Warpath, and today I am back again, and I'm going to be bringing you a guide of Kael'Thas here. Now this is going to be a little bit different. As you may have noticed, I'm actually doing a voiceover rather than an actual in-game commentary. This should allow me to be a little bit more in depth with my guide and get it to you in a little bit more timely manner. I try to cut down the clips a little bit and make it so that you guys can kind of take a look at what the abilities are doing as we're talking about them. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is positioning with Kael'Thas. So I want you guys to keep this in mind. With any assassin, with any very low health, high damage character, you're going to want to be worried about positioning always, because it's so critically important. Basically, you always want to be positioning yourself behind your enemy, or I'm sorry, behind your front line, behind your other teammates, in order to kind of create a wall for you there, and also close enough so that you can be damaging the enemy team. You want to be close to your team as well so that you don't get picked off by assassins, which are your biggest counters. Characters like Valeria is a really powerful one. Anyone that has a silence and or is an assassin. Illidan's really powerful. Zeratul, Kerrigan, Tracer's also very good. Just keep those in mind when you are picking and playing this character. Those guys will be good against you. Doesn't mean you can't play the character, but just keep in mind that they're going to deal quite a lot of damage to you. As you can see in this clip here, basically I am out of position quite heavily, and I get punished very hard for it because of that fact. So just kind of goes to show you that it happens to anyone there. Some really good characters for Kael'Thas to play with. Anyone with hard CC like ETC or Kael'Thas are very powerful, and characters that can keep Kael'Thas alive when being bursted by these assassins. Characters like Uther, Malfurion's really powerful, Lili's another good one. All good characters for Kael'Thas. Now what maps is Kael'Thas good on? Well, in my opinion, he's very good on pretty much any map except for Blackheart's Bay and Warhead Junction. I believe any other map he functions reasonably well and exceptionally well. So you don't have to worry too much about picking him on specific maps. I think he's just a really good all-around character. Now I do want to talk to you about the build, and this is going to be the core of the video because it is the most important part of it in my opinion. And I'm going to give you a very generic, two different generic builds. You should be tailoring your builds to each game specifically, so you know this isn't a cookie cutter build that you can take in every single game, but it should give you a good idea of where you want to be heading. So there are two different build types. There's the Flame Strike build and the Living Bombs build. First one we're going to talk about is the Flame Strike build. Basically, this one is going to be focusing on your Q ability. It deals tons of damage once it's powered up, and it hits multiple targets, again making it even more impactful. Problem with it is it's very hard to hit, so if you're facing an enemy team that has a lot of mobility or high assassins that can kind of get in and get out, you might want to think about going with the Living Bombs build, which is the other build, just because it can be kind of difficult to hit your Flame Strike when you need to. And that's pretty important. The first level 1 talent that we're going to talk about for the Flame Strike build is Convection. It's actually a quest where damaging an enemy hero with Flame Strike will increase its damage by 5 up to 100. This bonus is lost on death, but after hitting 20 enemy heroes you increase Flame Strike's damage by additional 100 and no longer lose any bonuses. So this is really powerful. It scales up over time and makes the ability extremely potent. The next ability at level 4, you will pick up Netherwind. You do also have the option of Mana Tap, but Netherwind in general is going to be the best option. It increases Gravity Lapse's range by 30%, and when it hits an enemy hero, you refund 80 mana. It's a very powerful ability. At level 7, you'll be taking Burned Flesh for the Flame Strike build, because when Flame Strike damages 2 or more enemy heroes with this ability, they take additional damage equal to 8% of their maximum health. It's extremely powerful and extremely critical for the Flame Strike build that you take this. At level 10, you have the choice of Phoenix and Pyroblast. Now we're going to talk a little bit about this because it is incredibly important to know when to pick which one. So Phoenix is going to be very powerful when you're able to fight in a team, when you're able to use it effectively against multiple enemies. Pyroblast is extremely effective in solo queue, because Pyroblast is a very high single target damage spell, which usually means you can pick off a single target. You can use it at the beginning of a fight to kind of zone out an enemy, basically get them really low so they have to back off or be very wary of even coming close to the fight to begin with. And I think it definitely has its advantages there. Phoenix, on the other hand, is a very powerful AoE spell, which allows you to kind of deal massive amounts of damage to an entire team. So this is a very good ability when you need maps that require zoning and sort of area of effect control points, which is quite a few of them. So Phoenix is a very powerful spell and should probably be picked a lot of the time. But Pyroblast can definitely be chosen if they have enemy heroes who can't nullify damage, or there are specific targets that you just need to get out of the picture, like a Malfurion or Lily or something like that, where you can just blow them up and kind of get rid of them. So that kind of covers the level 10, your ultimate abilities, and hopefully give you a better idea of when to pick what. At level 13, you should be picking Pyromaniac most of the time. Each time Living Bomb deals periodic damage, Kael'Thas' basic ability cooldowns are reduced by 1 second. You can pick Backdraft, but it is not quite as useful. It can sometimes be more useful if you're having a lot of trouble getting caught. It can definitely be useful then. But Pyromaniac, I do believe, should be the typical pick. At level 16 for the Flame Strike build, you will pick Fury of the Sunwell. Flame Strike will explode a second time 1.5 seconds later. Pretty self-explanatory, cut and dry, deals a lot of damage. You absolutely want to be allowing your Flame Strike to hit again if you can with this sort of ability. At level 20, if you pick the Phoenix, you can pick Rebirth, which increases the Phoenix duration by 100%, and while alive the Phoenix may be ordered to move to a different location. It's pretty powerful, but I do like Flamethrower quite a bit as well, which increases the cast range of Flame Strike by 40%, and if Flame Strike hits 2 or more heroes, its cooldown is reduced by 4 seconds. It's very, very powerful for the Flame Strike build. Now, we're going to talk about the Living Bombs build here. So, at level 1, for the Living Bombs build, you will be taking Fell Infusion. It increases Kael'Thas' spell power by 4%, and it heals him for 94 health, scaling with the level, when activating Verdant Spheres, which is your D, or your alternate ability. Yeah. And at level 4, you will be taking Netherwind again. Increases Gravity Lapses range by 30%, and when it hits an enemy hero, you refund 80 mana. Just a very powerful ability that you should be taking always. At level 7, you will be taking Sun King's Fury. Living Bombs that spread to enemy heroes deal 35% more damage. Pretty self-explanatory. You're powering up your Living Bombs. You want it to be as potent as possible. At level 10, again, you have the two options. Either one works just the same with both builds. At level 13, you should be taking Pyromaniac again because it's just very powerful. It reduces the cooldowns. It's just amazing. Again, Backdraft if you absolutely have to get out of team, or out of an assassin's way or something like that. At level 16, we'll be taking Twin Spheres. Verdant Spheres gains a second charge. Again, it's a very powerful ability, and you'll be using Verdant Spheres every time that you are using your Living Bombs ability, so you can basically just spam Living Bombs on the enemy team. It's going to blow up for tons and tons of damage, and it's absurd. And then at level 20, you'll be taking Master of Flames almost always. Living Bomb spread from explosions can now also spread Living Bomb. It's a very powerful ability that basically lets it spread indefinitely. Really important. You can also take Rebirth if you really want, but I highly suggest Master of Flames in this case. So that's going to pretty much do it for the guide today, guys. I have pretty much gone over everything that I would like to. Let me know what you guys think about it, because honestly I have a lot of fun doing these, and I think it's fun to kind of help people out with this stuff. So if you guys did like this, let me know. Let me know in the comments. Tell me what's going on. Leave me a like. If you guys really didn't like it, leave a dislike. That's cool too. But yeah, anyways, thank you all so much for coming in and hanging out with me today. It means a lot to me. I hope you guys do subscribe to my channel. It's pretty awesome when you guys do that stuff. So thank you all for watching. Enjoy the rest of this clip, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.
Optimist about this. How am I gonna be an optimist about this?